What's going on, family? What's going on, family? There's been a lot of noise going on uh, in the city. There's a lot of smoke. So it's a lot of furniture moving around in the city, and I gotta address like the elephant in the room, the big elephant in the room that's pretending to be something they're not. And the more and more she continues to talk, the more we figuring out that she's not as educated or edifies as she portrays to be. But I want to review this video, this particular video, last video that she posted. I think she posted because she might have posted some more videos of us. Who has any idea except for what's going on in her mind? And I want to point out the inconsistencies and the lies she keeps perpetuating, and this person kind of is out of their mind, like respectfully. And if she wants to play around with the untouchables, we'll give her something to play with, pause, respectfully. But whatever she's doing, she's blocking us, except for certain areas. She'll still communicate in certain places, but she blocks us instead of having the actual conversation, having the actual debate. If she's so educated on the topic that she's choosing to address, but pretending not to address. But I just want to shed light on all the inconsistencies um, that she's demonstrating while she goes on this campaign of, like, I guess, trying to disrespect us, trying to smear our names, trying to create a narrative that doesn't even exist. And then her people, or her cult, and the people who continue to follow her, which does seem like an abundance of black men that allow this woman to disrespect black people in general, by continue to profess that we're lying, or by continue to speak on the whole population of black people based on her small experience of black people. She'll date black people. She'll bring black people on her panels. She'll congregate with black people. She'll hire black people, but somehow black people are horrible and she's fatigued by black people. It's very confusing. If I'm that black fatigued, I won't go nowhere around no white people. I wouldn't hire white people. I wouldn't want to be around white people. And I wouldn't continuously speak about white people if I was so white fatigued. But we gonna start the video, Like, work with me.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily here on the Audacity Network. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I was so excited to see you guys that I literally came here early. I started my show early because I was just so excited to say hello. So today we are doing the topic of black fatigue. And for those of you that don't know, I do think it's important to kind of give you guys a background on the situation of how we came to this topic. So I really do try to, when I'm doing the show, do shows and topics that are kind of topical. Like, I got to pick stuff that's in the news, and you know how it is. You got to talk about what you think about those different topics. And last week, I think it was exactly a week ago now, I blew up.
And this is what I mean. She be lying. All she's been talking about lately is black people and using black fatigue as the cover up. Like, she's not even saying in general what the black fatigue part that she has. What in particular are you tired about from black people? And she's gonna flip flop in this video as well too. So you're gonna get to pay attention and see that this lady is a perpetual liar, and she lives in her own brain, and there's people supporting her insanity that's making her feel herself because she has some type of clout. She has 2 million followers, and then the men that's around her just want to live off her clout and just want to allow her to keep saying the things that she wants to say because they have so much grief and hatred for toxic black women, or women in general. Because I don't see how, if you're talking about women in general, how it keeps coming back to black women when black women learned what they're doing from white women using feminism, or a completely extreme version of today's wave of feminism versus the level one version of feminism. But black women learned what she's complaining about from white women. So you can't say there ain't white women who would pick the bear. There's not white women not listening to their husbands. There's not white women who don't want their children, who don't want their men, who are deviating from family and then picking themselves every single day. We learned that from white society. But guess what I won't do? I won't say that's all white women or majority of white women. And I won't go on a campaign trying to disrespect and make white people look bad because I've had bad experience with some white people. Because all she keeps saying is that she feels this way because the black people that she happened to encounter or experience. Watch.
The manosphere of YouTube, Black manosphere, whatever it was. Because I was invited onto a panel to discuss Black fatigue, and the panel crashed out on me. And the conversation I'm really going to.
And she keeps lying. All we did was ask her to not make it blatantly racial. We brung Pearly on there to have the conversation with the women that we could disagree with as well too. A lot of what Pearly says is in alignment with what a lot of men say in regards to the behaviors of women in general. She happened to make it about Black women. And you'll see as the video goes on, Black fatigue has nothing to do with Black women loving criminals or Black women having herpes. I'll say this again. If she wanted to discuss Black fatigue, that has nothing to do with Black women liking criminals or loving criminals, and Black women having herpes. And we're going to get to that because this woman is using data incorrectly and giving people misinformation just so she can talk about Black people and her experiences with them, even though she'll turn right back around and says Black people keep it real. So let's keep paying attention to the craziness of what this woman is doing. And if she wants to become more famous, we'll help her become famous because she just keeps talking about us. I don't know why she's stalking us. I don't know why she can't stop talking about us. All she has to do is just have a show. Let's have a intentional, civil conversation that's using actual data and information and actual stats that we can provide, where you're not just saying something based on your opinion or how you feel at the moment, which is typically what a woman does. You love bashing women in general. Excuse me, let me rewind that, because there's some factual things you will say about women. I'm not going to do to you what women are do to men. You like talking about the negative behaviors of women in general, but then you doing the same thing those women do by creating narratives, playing victim, and speaking on something that has nothing to do with what you're talking about to deflect from what you did. You're making it about yourself, and you're lying to make men look bad and Black men to look bad in general when your whole product, your whole channel was discussing the behaviors of women and how they're weaponizing it against men, and you're doing that too. And there's Black men supporting you, or men in general. Blinded by clout. We don't care about clout. I don't care how many followers you have. I don't care who's following you. I don't care who you're connected with. You're taking a different path because you got demonetized, and now you want to do what you're seeing other content creators do by race baiting or making money off of politics and speaking on race. But we'll get to that later. Let's address again the elephant in the room.
Have now. It's really out of love, if I would say.
Out the cap.
Because, I really do like Black people. Black people are pretty cool.
Out the cap.
You guys are funny. You're chill to hang out with. But
remember what I told y'all? That butt's coming. We're pretty cool. We're cool to chill with. We're funny. But this lady crazy, man. But we gonna get to it.
the problem is at times you guys just behave like women. You really do.
Remember what I said? Projection.
And I think if we're gonna work together, you guys got to work on that. I mean, yeah, to some extent, I am a grifter. I am. Yeah, I mean, because people say that as
what'd she say? She ain't say that, did she? She ain't say that.
a grifter. I am.
I
mean, yeah, to some extent, I am a grifter. I am. Yeah, I mean, because people say that as an insult. And maybe, I won't say anything for money because obviously I was demonetized for 2 years.
Ma'am, you just admitted you were a grifter. Like you just admitted you was a grifter. But then you're going to turn back around and say you're not trying to do something for money when you're doing it for money. And it's okay to do it for money. But grifters typically know better, but they're trying to make money and profit from something that they already know, but try to put it as misinformation so they can make money off of it. You can't make this stuff up. Like she tells on herself while she's speaking, and people are still taking her serious and still listening to what she's saying. Right? We know what grifters do. You see majority of people on here who are trying to weaponize people and actually being divisive, being scam artists just to make money. just to be deceptive, just to be manipulative, just to be persuasive, right? And she's horrible at being a grifter as well. She's really bad at being a grifter, you know, and that's why she's struggling. You're actually very boring. She's going to say later on that we're boring, but ma'am, you're actually boring. And in order for you to be successful, you need other people around you. And you should use that to your benefit. But you want to talk about the people that you need to help you. But these Africans won't do that for you, right? Because you don't tell everybody the true story, and you don't tell everybody, edify everybody about what you've done in the past or why you're where you are. And I didn't know either. It was to that extent. I really didn't think she was a racist. I really didn't. And I'm not even saying she's a racist, but she's damn sure adjacent to it. Damn sure. But let's get to the nitty gritty of the person who keeps pretending to be like something she isn't, but she actually is. She's not trying to make money, but she's trying to make money. She's not race baiting, but she grifting. Like you keep telling on yourself, sister.
So I could have avoided that had I said anything for money. Like it's like you guys have been here. But I do want to get paid. Like, yeah, I want to make money. I want to make money on the internet. So if that's wrong, you can call me wrong, but I do mean the things I say. Sometimes I say things for comedic effect. Obviously some things are tongue in cheek. I really try to aim for a smart, intelligent, thoughtful audience.
Y'all, you can't make it up. She keep telling on herself. She keep telling on herself, man.
Times I say things for comedic effect. Obviously some things are tongue in cheek. I really try to aim for a smart, intelligent, thoughtful audience that can kind of keep with the jokes.
No, you don't, because then you wouldn't criticize your audience. You wouldn't be biased, and you wouldn't try to pander or cater it to a certain audience or a certain perspective. You would allow people to have their perspectives, and we can have the conversation without you quickly making it about race, without you quickly making it about somebody not liking you, without quickly making it about somebody being offensive, because we're ready to have the conversation. We'll still have the conversation with you, even though you're blatantly lying, even though you're putting us on all these thumbnails. Go look at her. Go look at Just Pearly and go look at Pearly Talks, whatever her 2 accounts are. She can't stop plastering us on her account, on the thumbnails, and we're not even on her shows. She can't stop talking about us. She was so offended. She ran up out of there so fast, but she still wants to talk about us, but she don't want to have the conversation or debate because she only wants to speak to people that she may feel is intellectually inferior to her. She really can't have the conversation. It's regurgitated information, and once somebody catches her on that, she's gonna dodge up out of there. So, ma'am, if you're really trying to have a conversation, come back over here, debate us. We talk about politics, we talk about religion, but we're not gonna let nobody make it blatantly about race. I don't care if you're white, black, blue, orange. If a black person started going at your race there, people would have said, hey, man, these guys allowing black people to be racist. We would not have tolerated that. Matter of fact, we asked Tyranny and Jazz not to make it about race, and then we're going to let you make it about race? Again, herpes and black women liking criminals, or women in general liking criminals, has nothing to do with black fatigue.
But I'd like to make something clear. I don't do anything for shock value. A lot of people say Pearl, but Pearl, you just are a shock jock.
Not the cap.
And I really didn't understand what that meant. You're like, you just are saying things to be shocking. And I'm gonna roll back the clip. We're gonna react to the,
except for just randomly saying 50% of black women have herpes. How much more shock do you need from that? It has nothing to do with black fatigue. Just take the L.
To the panel from last week. And you guys can tell me if this is shocking or is it true. Because I do think once you get to be an adult, you no longer should be offended by words unless someone's personally attacking you.
I agree.
Now, what is a personal attack? I'm going to say the definition. A personal attack is a type of criticism directed at a person's character, appearance, or other personal attributes instead of their ideas and arguments. So as an adult, as long as you're not being personally attacked, I really do think that the standard has got to be sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I heard this when I was, like 12. And that's how I'm able to really keep myself cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I went on this panel to discuss what I thought was Black fatigue. Now, there was some discourse.
And let's address that. My failure was to inform her that that would be the next panel. That is my failure. But before she ever started talking about anything that had to do with herpes and Black women liking criminals or loving criminals, I informed her that that would be on the next topic. What she said was she thought I was saying, excuse me, the next week, the next Sunday. We already had that the topic for this week created. It wasn't for Black fatigue. What's the main? Let me make sure the main. What was that main topic? So y'all just know the title of it. The main title was Vivica Fox versus 50 Cent, the one that got away. She's going to be more ignorant. Watch what happens. But this was on relationships. Nothing about this show will be talking about Black fatigue. She forced that into the conversation. So I'll take that L and accountability that I did tell her that it would be on Black fatigue and relationships, not just Black fatigue. Pearly talks about relationships. We were not just going to address Black fatigue. But when she came on there, I told her that would be the next week on the next Sunday, because this show was already prepared. I guess she said it's either misunderstood it. She keeps telling people I'm lying. I got the DMs. She don't want to release the DMs because she know I'm telling the truth. She's just lying, and she's not really good with preparing these shows. She's not good with actually communicating. She's not good with her memory. She's not good at the chain of events. This is why it's hard for her to communicate, because I'm realizing when it comes to speaking on this type of information, when it comes to edifying, when it comes to sharing the topics, or when it comes for her communicating exactly what happens, she's not too good at that. And women love talking about our communication skills, but she has poor communication skills, unless she's purposely lying. But something is off with her memory and her perspective and the way she saw it and the way she continues to see it. She's just perpetually lying. But the show was not on Black fatigue. Everybody can look at the thumbnail. It was about the one that got away. And Vivica Fox and 50 Cent were on the thumbnail.
Ilkan is the guy's name. The guy who hosted the panel said, "Oh, I didn't say it was Black fatigue." And then I'm like, "Yes, you did." And he's like, "No, I didn't." And the argument was, "Pearl, that wasn't the topic. You can't say that." And I really don't like that argument, because I really try to keep it real no matter who I'm talking.
No, it means you need to shut your mouth. If I say that's not what we're talking about, shut your mouth. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Obama. I don't care if you're Trump. I don't care if you're someone who has great notoriety. I don't care who you are. We said that's not the topic. So we're not speaking about that today. We're speaking about it next week, because we already told the individuals who are sitting on the chairs that they would be speaking to you about relationships, and then for them not to refer to race, so that it doesn't become a racial conversation that day. We were already prepared for a racial conversation. We have them all the time. But the people who are with us were not prepared for that type of conversation and can't have that conversation. You keep just saying what you want to say to make yourself look good and play victim at the same time. You're so tough that you left the panel. You're so offended that you can't speak to the people who offended you. You have such tough skin that you can't have the conversation again. It only took one day. Y'all, we were supposed to have shows every week with her. She wanted people that can speak against what she's speaking about, which we do. We don't like echo chambers. We want people that we disagree with. So come on, sit down. We already have the people here that we already bring on our shows anywhere. We didn't have to do anything different, but what we already doing. You made it about yourself. You got offended and you bounced up out of there because you couldn't handle the pushback. That's what happened. We'll take the pushback all day long because we really want to have a conversation, but you acted just like the women you talk about. You couldn't handle it. You played the victim and you were offended, and then you bounced back to your house, and you got all these men now crying for you, doing the work for you, talking for you. And that's what women do when they don't get their way. They weaponize men against each other. They make everything divisive. We're known for respecting people. We're known to have the conversation. We're known to control the panels. People that say sometimes, oh, they're not moderating well. We have strong personalities that we're attempting to control, and we're attempting to have the conversation without trying to mute them or take them off the panels. We want to have the conversation without feeling like we're blatantly trying to control people. We want to have a controlled environment, but we don't want to make people feel like we're blatantly trying to control them or forcefully trying to control them. And we want to have raw conversations. So when people are speaking, sometimes we don't want to get in the middle of it. But when you're blatantly disrespecting someone, when you're blatantly calling them out their names, when you're trying to make a race baiting conversation, it will be addressed. Because we really care about the conversation.
Talking to, I thought that's what I love about black people is black people really do. God. I mean, they're kind of emotional at times, but they keep it real.
We keep it so real that you're fatigued from us. You love us so much, and we keep it so real, and we try to break it down logically that you still have black fatigue, just so you can make money. Just say it. I want to go down this route. I want to go down this political avenue so I can start making money as a grifter. It makes a lot of money. Me and Fatty can do that. We can be grifters and make a whole lot of money. We can let people go crazy on our shows, pretending like we're trying to have NASCAR, but we actually want money to get paid off the cars crashing. That's what. Hey, y'all, we trying to get people to race over here. We trying to have a NASCAR organization, but we really trying to make money off the car crashes. That's what she's doing. She don't want to have the conversation anymore. And if she ever wanted a conversation, or she sees a different avenue of how she can make money, so she became a grifter, and she admitted in the beginning. Stay in your lane. You're going to get destroyed because you still haven't even ran into actual heavy hitters or people who can have the conversation. You like bringing the epitome of how you stereotype black men and black women to sit down in front of you and sit down on these panels so you can make them make a fool out of themselves, and people won't call you out for making a fool out of yourself by bringing those certain people in front of you. And a lot of content creators try to do that. They'll bring the epitome of what we're talking about instead of bringing the women who are educated, bringing the women who are intellectual, bringing the women who can have these conversations, bringing the women you would never think about that could actually be this way. You choose to keep going to the epitome of what you believe the black community is, to make black people bad in front of white people, and then have black people help you do it as well too. You want gatekeepers, and you wanted some token blackies, token blackies to help you do it. You just didn't know who you was talking to. We don't bend over for nobody. We don't kiss nobody's butts. So I'm sorry, that's not the Untouchables. You're not going to just come up here and just disrespect the black community. We're going to speak on behaviors. We could talk about white and black people. We could have the conversation, but we're not about to kiss your behind just so you can make black people look bad. And you sit there and degrade black people, and we sit back there and go, yep, we agree with this.
Do you know what I mean? We're all about, so why am I going to change the way I talk?
Nobody told you to change how you talk.
Well,
we brought you because you're pearly.
Why do I got to change the way I talk because I'm talking to black people? Wouldn't that be? I think that would be more racist. It's like they're like they don't want racism, now they want more racism. It's like I just can't win. I can't win with these people. So I originally left this panel because I just didn't think it was very well done. It was nothing. This guy, Big Rick Da Ruler, he was just talking a lot, and I just kind of got bored. Now, again, Ilkan.
She didn't get bored. She wanted him kicked off so she can go back and forth with Jazz and Tyranny. Y'all realize that behind the scenes, she invited Jazz and Tyranny to her show to make them look bad. She know they're not prepared for this conversation, so she was trying to invite them over there so she could make them look bad and attempt to make the black community bad. If you were so offended, why didn't you stay and have a conversation? If it was so bad, you were so bored, the people that we brought there. If it was so bad, why do you keep getting people off our shows and put them on your thumbnails, and you're not even there anymore? You picked random people to put on your thumbnails, and they're not even on your show. We're not even bothering you. You're still stalking our shows and watching. Come on the show then. We're not snowflakes. What do you call them? Snowflakes? We're not snowflakes. We can have a conversation. You want to make more money? Come on by. Show us how educated you are. Show us how much data you are. Let's talk about black fatigue. It's happening Friday. You're more than welcome to come. Tommy Sotomayor's coming Friday. Pull up or be quiet. And if you're going to talk about us, we're going to keep talking back about you as well, too. You want us to go up with you, man, just keep talking about us. Keep running your mouth. Ma'am, you're not that smart. But again, she wanted him booted off the show. Why would you want the person who's coming there to have the conversation that's in disagreement on the information that you're providing to be kicked off the show? Because you just wanted to go back and forth with the women. You thought you could just come in and control the host and do whatever you wanted to do. I'm sorry, that's not happening.
Oh shit!
And we got to talk about this. Tends to go at things in bad faith. So he accused me of like being offended by him, and that's what they keep saying. They, because black.
No, I didn't. I said you wanted him to kick. Didn't say you were offended by him. You just lie. You just lying to your audience. I hope you people watch this, but they're gonna. A lot of them are in a cult, so they're still gonna believe you, just like the people that support all the other people that's in cults. I don't want to name drop too much because I don't want to make it too personal. I don't want to go back and forth with the ad hominems, but you wanted him kicked. I didn't say you were offended by him. You just want him removed so you can go 1-on-2 with Jazz and Tyranny, and you wanted everybody else to shut up. There was no reason to remove him. We invited him. He's a guest. You are not that special. Nobody's bigger than the conversation. If we invited them there, they're not getting booted off nowhere, especially when not being disrespectful, and they weren't being disrespectful to you. They can be as disingenuous as they want. That's why we're having these conversations where people get to show their character and how they actually communicate when it comes to these conversations. But they're not going to be booted for not being disrespectful. You done lost your mind, Pearl.
People do this thing. They always accuse white people of what they're doing. So they're really easily offended. And so
who offended us? Who was offended? Only people that was offended was Jazz and Tyranny. But that's who you wanted on your show. Caught you slipping. Ain't that interesting? Why would you want the women that were offended to be on your show if you don't want to speak to people who are offended? Very interesting. Very interesting. You actually wanted to have the conversation with them, but you want to take the people from the panels to bring them to your show so you don't have to come to our show. But I don't think they're going to mess with you like that, because I don't think they're going to put themselves in that position, because they already know you're going to mute them to death, which you mute everybody that's coming over there. You don't really have the conversation. We let people talk. That's why people ask to get muted. That's why there's people who want people dropped, because we let everybody speak. We're not just going to control somebody. And we're not going to run the panel the way you see fit. No, the way nobody see fit. We didn't do what was right for Jazz. We didn't do what was right for Tyranny. We didn't do what was right for Rick. We didn't do what right for me or Fatty or for you. We did what was right. I thought that's what white people like, right? When you want to make it racist. Don't white people want to be righteous? They want to do the right thing. So do black people. There are black people like that. If you keep going off stereotypes, you're going to think black people are just ignorant and uneducated and lazy. That's your problem.
They'll do is they'll say, Pearl, you're offended. And I'm like, no. And you guys can tell me, watching this clip,
So why did you leave? If you weren't offended, why did you leave? If you offended us and we felt like we were offended, why did you leave? Why didn't you have a conversation still? Say, oh, my bad. I shouldn't have said that right there. Maybe I should have the conversation, because you were speaking about women in general the whole time. And all of a sudden you wanted to make it about race because you wanted to have the conversation about black people, not black fatigue. Stop covering up your actual racist adjacent communication skills. I'm not going to say you racist, but you're damn sure adjacent.
I look like I'm offended here.
He's full. I order $30.
So anyways, see, I'm smiling. I'm happy. Not offended. I was just bored when I left. So I tried.
Y'all, if she was happy, if she was having a good time, why you leave? Were you bored or happy? You be bored and happy at the same time? Which one? So I know what you're going to try to say. I could be bored and happy too, but the way you were speaking about it is if you were bored, you didn't feel like being there. It was you just didn't, you weren't feeling good being there. That's what it comes off, is if you were uncomfortable being there, you were wasting your time. You wanted that guy to talk, but now all of a sudden you're happy communicating. You just got to make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? You're all over the place, Pearl.
Try to give them some criticism to their detriment. They take it. Sorry, to their credit, I will say they did take the criticism. They had him talk less.
Dollars of Uber Eats every day.
And I really want to show if there's like 2 black people watching. I want to show why at times white people just stop working with you guys. If you want to say, I want to show how you guys actually cause racism. Like, it's actually
black people are in the workforce. Black people are working with white people. Black people are entrepreneurs. Black people are opening up businesses. Like, you're just talking out of your behind. What are you talking about, man? This isn't 1962. Who you, all your staff were Africans on the plantation. Remember, you liked your Africans. You even worked with black people in the UK. If you can work with black people, why can't nobody else work with black people? Or is it when you become racist and ignorant and disrespect your staff, then black people don't want to work with you? That seems historic. If you want to go back to the fact that black people work for free for 400 years, or black people have been mistreated in the workforce and have not be having equal rights throughout the course of time. If you want to go to redlining, if you want to go to affirmative action, if you want to go to equal opportunity, if you want to go to all these laws and policies that were implemented over and over again because the inequality that black people are experiencing, maybe that's why you have black fatigue. You don't want to hear us complain about actual things that happened throughout history and what happens now, but you want to be black fatigued about disrespecting people and being racist and their response to you being ignorant. That's your black fatigue. When you ignorant, you don't like ignorant responses or justified responses, because if you're justified for what you're doing to what you perceive as ignorance, then black people are justified for actually speaking on ignorance, actually speaking on racism, actually speaking on the lack of opportunities, actually speaking on how they're mistreated by other races of people. And it doesn't make all white people racist. But if we're speaking on racist instances, if we're speaking on injustices in this country, nothing should be wrong with it. Right? White people are saying, make America great again. White people are complaining about their guns being taken. White people are complaining about the LGBT movement. Democrats are complaining about Republicans. Conservatives are complaining about liberals. So if you have the right as an American citizen and as a white person to complain, then why you have black fatigue from black Americans who have the right to complain? Maybe because you're racist, or maybe because you're racist adjacent.
it's not us. Look at me, not seeing color, just going in there with a smile.
Hey, so because I'm not experiencing,
but you're black fatigue.
That means that it's not real. This is just numbers that Rick is putting out there. Somebody's going to call me out. Somebody's going to say, Fatty, your reality, just because your name is Fatty and you seem like you are overeating or you have a full fridge, that's the point. Is
okay, this was the worst panelist I've seen in my life. I actually think the woman brought more value than Fatty. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that kind of crazy? The woman, I would say, because at least, she was going back and forth. So, all right.
We weren't going back and forth. You talking about the women who were offended by what you said and wanted us to do something about it? I know you're not talking about Fatty, who's known for going back and forth with white people, black people, orange people, green people, all kind of people. He goes on. He had a conversation with Andrew Wilson. He goes on the Raging Tomato. He's had conversations with Destiny. You talking about that Fatty that's offended? You talking about that Fatty? If he doesn't bring any value, why are you still clipping our videos? Why are you still breaking down our videos and doing reviews of our videos? Why are you still putting us on your thumbnails, except for the co-host? You want to put everybody else on there to trigger them and gaslight them to be offended to come on to your show. We see what you're doing. But if he doesn't have any value, why you keep reviewing us? And why have we been allowed to be on these people's platforms? Why are people continuing to come to our platforms? Stop projecting, Pearl. Just because you shot your own self in the foot, stop projecting.
Let's see.
happening than the actual brothers who are saying it. Solid.
Okay.
Man, that woman does me this, that woman does me that, and I go,
At the end of the day,
They go tell other people. Why
They
would a
don't-
man
Oh, sorry. I left there. That was the first time I left. I think I came back here. Yeah, there we go.
yes,
When
yes.
you're single,
Ours are so
are
much
you not washing
easier
the dishes
too.
when you're single? When you're at home and you're a single man, are you not cleaning your in those situations? What
on another person? Most women, as soon as you don't get your way in control of him,
it's on the supply, and you don't see that. What you do see is a lot of men on
You
here.
see me bored? Like, do I look angry? I look bored. I'm like, oh God. I come in with a smile and now I'm bored. I'm like, I can't be on a boring panel. My time's too valuable. And I was thinking,
she's so bored. She came back twice, 3 times, 4 times. She came on our other panel twice. She wanted people kicked. Excuse me. She wanted people silenced more so she can speak. And then she came back again. Pearl has both shows she's come on. She's dropped and played victim and somehow pretends she's not offended or bothered by the panel so she can talk more. And she came back again. Either had a conversation or go back into your cellar, go back into your room with your dog and just have your own shows with yourself and with the people who want to watch you and people who placate to you, make you feel good about yourself and your clout. That's the only value you provided outside of blatantly try to be a racist adjacent. If you want to take that route, just own it. All your thumbnails are saying black. I mean, man, hold on. Let's do this real quick. Let's pause that video. Since you're not racist or you're not race baiting and you're not actually doing those things. You're not trying to do nothing for shock value. Not Pearly. Let's see, Pearly things. I'm gonna come right back to this, y'all. I promise. Let's stop that. Let's go here. Okay. Let's see, guys. The last 4 videos, Black Fatigue show the people have been asking for. Second one, everyone has black fatigue. Why do black people think they are entitled to arguing with white people? The third show from that after the conservative woman, everyone has black fatigue. Black people will always fumble the opportunity of a lifetime. That is racist adjacent. How can she get to have this experience with us and just go on a black fatigue campaign, just talking about black people because of what she did on the panel? And she just decided not to stay. If we're going to have a conversation, if you are having conversations with people where you're in disagreement, why did you pick the choice to be offended and leave and try to play like you weren't offended? It bothered you that you couldn't control the panel and you left. When I came on your panel, you dropped me. Also, you didn't want to have a conversation because you want to control the conversation. When the narrative doesn't go your way, when it looks like that you're losing ground, and then people can use that against you because that's how you project and that's how you are as a person, then you want to crash out. You want to actually dodge and leave. This is your version of crashing out. You got to make a whole bunch of thumbnails to feel like you were right when you were wrong. That's just Pearly thing. That's her page. Let's go to the videos. She didn't put us on her videos, but she got us on her lives. And I want to point out something. This last one right here, everyone is sick of it. Those 2 people, she might have thought that was Ali or somebody like, get the Ali guy because his name was King Ali, and she mistakenly put that person on there. Maybe she was trying to put me, but those people barely talked. And she put them on the panel. And before she put the person to the left, the young black lady to the left, she put Angry Man on there with the guy. Why are you taking pictures of our panels and making them your thumbnails and still talking about us? Pick somebody else to pick on or get somebody else to pick on. Actually talk about the actual subject at hand of black fatigue and why you're tired of black people outside of using these individual black people. You can't hire us and fire us because you were wrong and being racist or using racist rhetoric. Excuse me, I'm still not going to call you a racist, but you were calling them your Africans. And then you get demonetized for having a young girl on your page and her mama asked for her to come off the panel, for you to drop the video, take the video off, or take her off. I don't know which one it was. You were supposed to take her off the show or take the video down, and you refused to, and YouTube demonetized you. That's the word on the street. But who am I? You calling your workers Africans. You're not paying them the way you're supposed to be paying them. And then you put a young girl underage on a show where her mother asked you not to, or asked you to take down the video, and you got demonetized for it. And if I'm wrong, correct me. Because this is all the smoke. We want all the smoke. Rightfully so and respectfully so. Because we do actually care about the conversation. We actually do care about men and women coming together. We actually do care about white and black people coming together. We actually are about unifying. We purposely are not being divisive. We want to have the conversations with all walks of life, with all types of people from any creed, any gender. We want to have the actual conversation on why people are disagreeing and what makes people disagree and what solutions can we put in place. More so than me. I'm kind of an idealist. Fatty is more of a realist. He wants to keep the conversation raw on what it really is. I want to have the conversation if there's any avenues to bringing people together. And that may be my ignorance, but that's what we really care about. We really care about bringing people together. You don't see us having no white campaign. We don't spend all day long talking about white people. And maybe we can be justified about talking about white people, but we know it's not all white people. We know there's good white people out there. And until what you were doing, Pearly, you were somebody that people, again, watch and supported and went, hey, man, she's speaking about the experiences that men have with women. And then a lot of black men started supporting you too. And black women who will use race a lot of times as well too, and I'm not going to say they're going to race bait, but a lot of times black women will call white women out of their names and address white women because of their behaviors as well too. They may make it a certain type of way, but even when black women were going against you, people were like, man, that's not racist. Black women and women in general are just upset because Pearly's telling the truth until you blatantly started disrespecting the women based off their race. Because if you have this much energy for black women, you have to address the white women that put black women in these positions by black women emulating them because they're the women, they're the center of the women in this country. They're the priority, the women that are prioritized in this country. They're the women who push feminism. They're the women who push sexual liberation. They're the women that society is listening to. Most of our women society isn't listening to. So all they can do is try to do the same things maybe that white women do to get ahead in life. But if you're going to address black women, you got to address white women first. Again, why are we on your thumbnails? If we offended you so much, if we bothered you so much, why are you talking about it?
Shit like that, shit like that, shit like that, shit like that, shit like that.
Why is our Sunday show one of your thumbnails? That's not even the show you was on. Maybe because you're race baiting and maybe you want to make black people mad, but we the perfect black people to make mad because we going to talk about it. And we're going to provide the actual information. And after this show, if you wanted to get it real bad, we can break down how racist adjacent you are. And there's no way people are missing it. And for the black people that's continuing to follow her, watching what she's doing, damn, you know what, man? It's crazy how all these races of people can be pro-race, pro their race without being anti their own race. But a lot of y'all show yourselves that you hate negative black women. I'm going to be as intentional as possible. Y'all hate the behaviors of black women so much that white people can get you to hate black people or make it look like you hate black people or black women. I don't think you hate your own kind. I don't think you hate black women or black people. But do you realize that these people can put you in a position where you hate the toxic black women so much that it looks like you hate black women in general and black people? Because you would talk about black men as well too. You cannot talk about black disposition without talking about history and how it's impacted black people throughout history. If white people are so tired with 10 years or 5 years or the last 2 years about black people complaining right now, what about the 400 years? What about the civil rights? What about mass hangings? What about lynchings? What about babies being eaten, throwing over the alligators to eat them as gator bait? What about the breakdown of families? What about taking the father out the household? 400 years? We can't be bothered by 400 years, but you can be bothered by 2, 3, 4 years. And again, if you're saying that men didn't have a voice until now, Why can't black people have a voice until now? Black women can say all the things they say, and women in general can say all the things they say. Pearly will refute it. Black men will refute it. We'll refute it in general. Soon as a white person says it, or a white woman says it, y'all want to believe everything they say because you have that much ill will towards the negative behaviors of black women. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Stop showing your behinds for white people using you as gatekeepers, using you as token blackies to make our people look bad because we have such a disdain by the minority of black people in the community who may be doing bad. They don't get rid of their people because when their people are doing bad, they're still pro-white, pro-Arab, pro-Asian, pro-Hispanic. So make sure you're still pro-black without being anti-white. All right, let me get back to her just running her mouth.
I'm like, I could spend 3 hours on this boring panel, or I could do reactions. Because I filmed 120 reactions last week for the whole month. So now I'm kind of done with that's what I was thinking. And I'm like, is this worth my time? All right, where do we go back and forth? Then they call me, they're like, come back. Oh, there. And then I bring my She Belongs to the Street sweatshirt.
If she's not baiting, why she change her clothes? If she's not baiting, why did she change her clothes? She's admitting it to you. Why did you come on with one attire and then you come back on with something else that says she belongs to the streets? If you ain't race baiting, you baiting.
Better watch out. Kazim comes back with a $20 ball. Thank you very much, Kazim.
I was just kind of bored. Like, that's kind of just how I felt. I was bored.
Somebody asked her,
okay,
so drawn to chaos over comfort. Is that a little bit?
I just thought the question, I'm bored. I'm still bored. And then finally, I'm like, something interesting. Like, do you see my face light up?
Oh, something interesting.
Does this look like the face of somebody who's a racist? Look at me. I'm having a great time.
Wow. I thought you were just
I'm
bored.
having
Now
a good
you're
time.
interested. Oh, wow.
Usually not. Okay, wait.
Oh.
All right, there.
Men who
I'm
seem
looking down. I'm like, I'm bored.
competent through their confidence and risk taking, because if you look at it biologically speaking, risk taking did lead to positive outcomes as long as it was responsible.
She's bored because it's not about Pearly. She's a person who operates in that type of behaviors. Sounds like a lot of women who say men are narcissistic and they're actually demonstrating those type of behaviors where everything has to be about you. Seems like the typical woman, Pearly. It seemed like you'd be better than that. You complain to men, you supposedly support men in them complaining about the women and how they make everything about themselves. But when you can't talk, you bored. When it's not about you, you bored. You got something else better to do when it's not about Pearly. But again, we will entertain you, Pearly. If you want to debate, pick somebody you want. We'll bring somebody for you. We can have a 2-on-2. We can have a 1-on-1. We just say you want to debate. We'll bring somebody for you. But stop running. Stop trying to pick the most ignorant black people you can find to have conversations with. We don't go look for the most ignorant white people. That's ignorant. But you try to go find people that may not be able to speak for the black community. They might not be properly edified. They might not be able to communicate the information or know about the information. You don't even know the information about yourself. You got exposed by the lead attorney. You don't know no stats on white community. All you know is about what the black community does. You don't know nothing about the white community. But what I will tell you is 70% of the arrests are white people. I bet you didn't know that. 60% of the people that are in prison are white. White people commit the most crimes except for murder and robbery. And you can go to the Bureau of Statistics to look at that one. Y'all just be talking. You blatantly race baiting just to make black people look bad, to make yourself feel good, so you can find another avenue where you can make money to the white people who do like hearing about black people get talked about. But I would never say it's all white people. There's so many open white people that we come across. There's white people who support our shows. There's white people we're friends with. There's white people that we have in our families. But we don't have shows on blatantly talking about white people. And even when white people disrespect us, we don't show our behinds. We don't become monsters. We don't transform in front of you into people that white people would perceive to be as black or ignorant. And I'm talking about ignorant white people. But share some white data. Share that white people make up the white men make up the majority of single fathers, not black men. Show that data. Show in the labor force that black men, white men, and black men have a higher labor employee rate than white women. Because y'all love saying black people are lazy, but their occupation rate is higher than white women's occupation rate. So would white women be lazy? Would they be deemed lazy? Most black men, black women, all black men, black women, white women are working. They're not lazy. But you're not going to race bait us into talking ignorantly about white people so white people can go, oh, see, I knew it was in there. We don't think like that. Again, if you want the conversation, we can set it up. Stop creating false narratives. You're not good at it. There's people who do it much better than you do. You need to stop talking because you're making yourself look very ignorant and slow.
But
you know what? I don't really make my thumbnails, I'm being honest. I don't know. I don't make my thumbnails. So I just had to put some people on the, like, from a panel or something.
Y'all know that's a lie. You know that's a lie. I don't make my own thumbnails. I'm just telling them to put people on the panel. Just so happened to be off our panels. Just so happened to be on the panel she wasn't on. Just so happened to be the Sunday panel. Let me put Angry Man on the panel. Whoever picked it. She don't know who's picking it. She didn't make the thumbnails. Let's put Angry Man on the panel next to a guy named Ali. Let's put a lady named Lucky Marie next to Ali after we didn't like the picture with Angry Man so that we can bait her because we liked how she looked and we like how she probably communicates. So we can bait them to come to the show. They both, the guy and Lucky weren't on there that long. The young black lady and the young black man, they weren't there that long. So why are you stalking us? Why you blocking us? But then reviewing us and then lying about us.
So look, although Angry Man, go ask the chat. Tell him I said $75 to change streams. $75 at 8:15 to come on. How much? What's his price? He's got a price. Let's buy him. I'm a landlord to blacks in DC. I have real black fatigue content. Yeah, and I've talked.
And there's a lot of self-hating black people. And again, I'm not gonna call y'all coons. I'm not gonna say that y'all are coons, just like I'm not gonna tell her she's racist, but y'all are very aligned with the people that don't like black people, and you're very aligned with what looks like self-hating black people that love disrespecting black people and kicking down black people. And you probably was in a position of those black people just because a white person says it in front of you. It's very telling. Most of these dudes that I'm seeing over here as black dudes, she'll have sex with the black guy, get support from the black guy, get help from the black woman and black man, get them to be their employees, get them to communicate, get them to help her run her shows, and then she disrespected them because she disrespected them because they responded to her disrespect.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Sounds like the typical racist adjacent white person to me. And again, I'm not talking about all white people or majority of white people. I'm talking about white men or white women that think just like this white woman.
About this before. I really don't have hatred for black people. I really don't. But I have a lot of pent up frustration because they say, who hurt you? I'm like, black people, they hurt my feelings a lot.
I thought they were real. I thought black people were
I
real.
offered them friendship, I offered them jobs, and not all of them turn their backs on me, but God, enough did that. A bitch has got feelings. A bitch has got. Do you know what I mean? Oh, you want to know how that happened? Well, a bit like who hurt you? Black people.
She's not gonna tell. She's not gonna tell y'all. She's a liar. This woman is a liar.
So what happened was.
I
went to England and I started a YouTube show, and I lived in a pretty black area, and I did a show that was like I had 100% black staff, like half 50% black people. And this wasn't like intentional; it just kind of happened. And then a bunch of them called me a colonizer, and I'm like, "Oh, you want me to be a colonizer, bitches? I'll be a." It's just like, it's like
you calling me a racist white woman, so I'm gonna be a racist white woman. You call Ali an ignorant black man, so I'm gonna be an ignorant black man. You're gonna call me a deadbeat, so I'm gonna be a deadbeat. You're gonna call me a criminal, so I'm gonna be a criminal. Yes, ma'am. You are being exactly what they said they are. It should be very difficult for you to be who they said you are if you weren't calling them Africans from off the plantation. So because they called you that, now you're gonna be what they said you were. Why would that many black people work with you in bad faith? It's from everything we saw, it looked like those black people were supporting you, and you were utilizing those black people to have a great show, and people were watching that show. It's how did all of them turn on you? All of them? Come on. But let's see. Now she's going to be exactly what they said she was for being the racist woman, racist adjacent woman that she claimed not to be.
You keep calling. You guys have created a demon, and you want to say, Pearl, your tune has changed. You guys have created me. I will never forget. I will
remember. She keeps talking about black people and black experiences. We don't come on here every day talking about white people and our white experiences, even if we're justified. We don't. I could talk about my experiences with cops. I could talk about my experiences with my neighbors. I got a lot of stories. I have experiences with my employees, experiences with lawyers from real estate. I could tell you so many things of where I was mistreated by white people, but I'm not going to go at all white people and say all white people are racist because I had experiences with ignorant or racist white people. Black people will let you into the barbecue. Black people are quick to forgive. Black people are loving. Black people keep it real, just like she said. Black people are fun. Black people have a sense of humor. And another thing that she would show that black people could sometimes jump on the ship with white people to go against black people. So how are all these black people so bad if all these black people helped you?
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Oh my God.
That sound like hate.
Oh man, hate.
You better learn how to appreciate and put some money on that plate and stop all that hate because it's fake.
Never forget that Canon event when I'm doing my happy stream and I look down and I see one of my friends made a hit piece on me. Two of them. Two people I considered to be friends. One had stayed in my parents' house. They made
isn't that so sad? Isn't that so? I thought you weren't.
You're a victim.
That's so sad, man. I'm so sorry to hear that, man. You don't want to hear about black fatigue. Why we want to hear about your white fatigue? Excuse me. Your black fatigue. You don't want to hear about the actual black fatigue. So why would we want to hear about your black fatigue? Survive, bro.
Survive.
They made videos insulting me, making fun of me, and insinuating I was a colonizer.
Oh.
And that really hurt. That really hurt my feelings.
Wow. We can't be hurt, but she can be hurt. Just admit you wrong, Pearl, And bygones can be bygones. We can have these shows. Just admit you wrong for what you did to them. Just admit you wrong for you calling them Africans. Admit you was wrong for what having that little girl on your show. Admit you wrong for coming on our show and blatantly making it about black people. Just admit that you wrong. Don't be like the typical woman, Pearl. Don't be like the women you talk about. Just admit that you're wrong. It's okay to be wrong sometimes.
How I feel to be wrong? Huh? How I feel to know you wrong? It's okay. I'm wrong all the time. This is just your first time experiencing. You wrong now. So you want to talk about it?
Ooh-wee.
We got faith in you, Pearl. We got faith in you.
So congratulations to the two YouTubers. You guys know who you are. You guys know who you are.
Thank you. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. Now let's dance, Fatty. It's for me. It's the untouchables, Fatty. We know exactly who we are.
It's gonna be a crazy one. It's a lot of battles on this card, and it's gonna be your favorite one.
And this is for you, Pearly. Stop hating on us.
I've been hating you too long to stop now.
Got untouchable empire, baby.
You've created a demon. You've created a monster. And I'm way worse now because I got demonetized for 2 years and now I'm back and I don't give a fuck.
Out the cap.
A lot of women are.
Congratulations. I'm like the Joker, baby.
Out the cap.
Pearl, how many chocolates have you been with? Well, I like Nestle, I think. I like white chocolate. I like cocoa powder where you make it like fresh. Thank you for the question. We can go through. I do have a sweet tooth, I know. So I'm on this panel and
attracted to that, even if it's not in a positive way. It's not positive risk taking, it's negative risk taking.
Rick was nodding his head a little bit. What do you think? Why do you think the statement is wrong, Rick? That women are not?
Yes.
I'm too active until we get, I get up.
Most men don't lead with no payouts. When you first meet a woman, you don't even show her that you got some shit going on.
Accessibility shortcut.
All right, now I'm
Most-
like,
most
finally,
men-
I can
most
go.
men
I
lead
can riff.
with this fake ass persona that they are the man that's of her dream, and you nothing like the nigga that you had before you. So
A
I don't think
super
women are
sticker,
picking those
$4.
type of men.
Thank you.
But by the time she realized that you full of shit and you ain't the nigga that you led with, right?
Men move out there because in my head it comes Future, Nick Cannon, Cam Newton.
And by the way, you know what made this show even more ironic? The topic had to do with T.I. And he literally is a felon or he's a criminal.
It wasn't T.I., it was 50 Cent. T.I. is not on the, like, what is wrong with you, man?
Oh my God.
It was 50 Cent that was on the cover, not T.I. What are you talking about? I used to really think this lady like was very informed and was educated, but what she's been doing is just regurgitating a whole lot of things that she's encountered. She doesn't know how to get from A to Z. She doesn't memorize, she's memorizing the things that she hears, but she really doesn't believe in them or know about them. All she's doing is memorizing these things. She's memorizing talking points, but she don't really believe in them herself. She wouldn't act this way. But how do you forget that 50 Cent was on the cover, not T.I.? Jesus.
Record. Hold on.
Like usually the guy that has already a track record and women still flock to them. This is a very visible. I don't think this is like the woman will.
No, women know, but we hate that we love them.
That's different.
Like, oh, I love him so much. I hate it. We hate that we love the criminals. the players, the rappers, in this case, the entertainers, the really unstable.
And remember, she's saying we, as in women in general. There's nothing wrong with what she's saying. And nobody has made it racist. Nobody has brought race into it. That subject hasn't opened up. Black fatigue hasn't been opened up. This is general conversation. When white people and black people even come together in society, they don't just talk about black and white issues. That's why you're not supposed to talk about politics or religion. You definitely ain't supposed to talk about race in front of people unless you work people open to having that conversation. It'd be odd for us just to start talking about white people. So right now she's making it in general, which is fine. And she's being correct right now. And regardless of the way our perception is, and regardless of things that we may think or believe in, but she's about to go wrong in just a few minutes. And I ain't talking about race.
Men we just love. And you could see this because when women are young and hot, that's who we pick. When we're old, ugly, and used up, I mean, that's when we go for the stable guys. And we do a very good job. Yeah. Very good.
And who hit that button? Ali hit the button. This button, that's my button. It's my button. Which is supporting her rhetoric of what she's saying, because I understand what she's saying, that women like dominant men, women like aggressive men, women like assertive men, women like dangerous men, women like confident men. So I hit it. So nobody's offended. Look at my face. I'm smiling just like Athena's smiling. Jazz's face looked toe up from the flow up because she already don't like the rhetoric, even if it's truthful. No one will deny that. What's right here, even if it's truthful, but it's nothing wrong with what she's saying right now. Nobody's offended by it. Except for the people who are offended by it. And that's the people we're typically speaking to. That's typically the people who make, and CJ don't go against that because his rhetoric is about what women behaviors are as well too. But I know CJ don't hate women as well too. But Jazz is looking like that because she don't like the rhetoric of what men are talking about women in general. But she didn't make nothing about races either. Jazz is typically respectful on our panels. I don't care how much you can't stay in her guts, no matter how much she can be wrong, no matter how much I disagree with her, as long as she has the conversation is respectful, there's no right to disrespect her. There's no right to make it about make it sexist. There's no reason to make it racist.
Job convincing them we love them. So now look at the difference. Very angry.
Who's angry?
Very happy. Angry, happy. Angry, happy. Oh, yes. I don't know if any girl comes in and is like, I love Jazz. The stable guys. It's like, at 20, did you?
You see, she doesn't point the fact that it's just Jazz. Fatty doesn't have a problem. I don't have a problem. Melanie doesn't have a problem. Athena doesn't have a problem. CJ doesn't have a problem. Everybody is agreeing with what she's saying in this part, except for Jazz and probably Rick. But Rick might not be disagreeing. So why does she convey that to her audience? Why does she not convey that to y'all? I hit the
button. Usually not. So that's and we can't help it to some degree. We cannot help that we are attracted to men that show signs of dominance. I think a lot of us we wish we could turn it off, but we can't. It's just what we're attracted to. We're biologically hardwired to do that. Unfortunately. So
we're biologically hardwired to. Did you say we're biologically hardwired to want chaotic, criminal?
Well, dominant. Yeah, dominant. Because you got to think of like Ted Bundy. He had women. Yeah, he had women writing him love letters. He impregnated a woman. He impregnated.
And he did, but that's extreme. Most women don't like men who delete women. They do like confidence. They do like boldness. They do like fearlessness. They do like risk taking. They do like charisma. They do like social dominance. But there's no evidence that's going to prove that majority of women like people who are stone cold killers of women, babies, the leaders, people who commit rape, people who are just stone cold criminals. Like you conflating a violent criminal with all types of criminal. When you say criminals, that's a broad term. But the people who typically women are associate dominance with, I would agree with that. The people they see as leaders and athletes and protectors or entrepreneurs, the crime part isn't what's attractive. It's the part that they're dominant that's attractive. That's the part. So it's misleading to say people that the women like criminals. They like the dominant part about it. They don't like the part that they commit illegal crimes. But again, when you're moving disingenuous, you will say things like that. When you have a motive, you will say things like that. When you have an agenda, you will say things like that.
Dated a woman while he was in prison for murdering women. This is a real Luigi Mangione.
I don't think that's a woman thing. I think that's a thing that certain women do.
Well, you are correct.
There's no.
Hold on, Jazz, let her land, and you respond. You going to get the mic? Let her land.
Not every woman does that. There's different levels of dominance. However, we are still attracted to dominant men, and that does come in the form of if a man can kill someone else, we know he can protect us biologically. So that just is what it is.
So you find you equate dominance with a man that can dominate and harm a woman attractive?
That's one way that men describe it, or that's one way that men do it, and women do select those men. So I try not to apply morality to this, good or bad, it doesn't matter, because
and she's right about that part though. Like a lot of times, the good and bad doesn't matter, but there's a part of how far that goes with the good and bad. A woman may like a guy who's dangerous, or who can fight, who can shoot, but doesn't mean she want a person that deletes women and kids or men just for the heck of it. A person who performs sexual crimes or acts against people, most women don't like those type of men. They don't like the part that they're criminal. They like the dominance factor. So it's being ignorant. The crime part is not attractive. It's the dominant traits that certain criminals may have or happen to have that they may be attracted to. That's what sparks a woman's attraction, not the crime aspect. Typically, there are some women out there that like men because they commit crimes, but that's not most women.
Women do pick criminals. Criminals are men that have committed a violent crime are actually more likely. They are more likely to reproduce than men that haven't. So I didn't make this world. I didn't make women write love letters.
Has that been your experience? Like, are you attracted to criminals?
Well, to be fair, I don't know many criminals. So that hasn't been my experience personally.
What about the people in your environment?
I've interviewed 1,000 people. A good chunk of them did, procreate. I will say thank you for the super chat. Hail Pearl.
And she get it. I gotta see where she see what the majority of people who commit crimes are the ones reproducing. Like I gotta see that they're the majority of people that's reproducing. I haven't seen anything. I've looked up that data. I don't see anything in there where it shows that the majority of people that commit crimes are the ones who reproduce. And I could be wrong. Y'all could correct me. But most people don't commit crimes. Most people aren't criminals. So how could that be true? Wouldn't they be locked away? Wouldn't they be in prison? How could they create families, have babies, and go on to have build families with people? Most people aren't committing crimes. That's so ignorant to say, whether it's for white women or black women.
Popping these red pills. Thank you. I will stop the show to do super chats because I'm grifting. I'm grifting, baby. Grifters got a grift. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, grift, baby, grift.
You hear your sister.
So you guys want to know, why I'm covering this still. And I actually am going to get to that. I'm going to play the full clip. I'm going to let you guys go. And then I'm going to get to it. And date men with felonies. That's not uncommon. So
okay,
especially in the black community, if we're going to be honest, that's
I want to
common. So I don't know why you're pretending to not know what I'm talking about. You can gaslight these simps, but you can't gaslight me. Chico.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think you know anything about the black community, but I will say about the white community, it's a lot of white women that find, men who kill other women attractive.
Grifter, LOL. Hey, Pearl.
If Jazz would have said, especially in the white community, white women love criminals. White women love the men who touch kids. White women who love the men who grape. White women love the men who are racist. White women love the men who delete people off the streets. We would have let someone be blatantly racist on our panels. There was no reason for her to bring up race. She did that purposely to trigger the women, especially to trigger Jazz. Y'all can say whatever you want to. If it went the other way, there's no reason why we would allow her to do that to Pearl or justify her doing that to Pearl. We would have been wrong. And we're gonna pick when we're wrong too, but we're picking it in regards to having integrity and doing the right thing, not on own biased or not on our own supposed campaign where we are pro-black or pro-white on certain days and we flip-flop. We're gonna do what's right. Nobody's gonna go blatantly to somebody's race. This wasn't racial conversation. There was no reason to bring up the fact that black women love criminals when she already said women in general like criminals, unless she wanted to debate a certain reaction from somebody and make the conversation about black women.
Thank you.
Those are the women that were
true, but I won't gaslight you about it. I won't gaslight you. I would say that's true. That's true. There are white women that do that.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Hold on, real quick. Hey, hold on. I'm gonna say it again. Hold on. No, you would have to say white women in general. Not there are white women that do that. You would say yes, white women in general do that. You said there are women that do that, which is downplaying it. And you're gonna downplay it going on right now. When she tells you like criminals too, you better say you like criminals too. Real quick, Pearl.
I can't hear you while I'm talking. I don't even know why she even brought up the black community.
You can't say that until she lands. Like I want you to. Oh, Ali wasn't offended. Ali said, "Jazz, stop. Let Pearly finish, and then you can talk." Nobody was offended. The only thing was, hey, let her finish, then you can respond. Because we try to give her the benefit of doubt, but she made it about race. I said, you know what? She said that just to say that you should know better because she's a black woman, but that's racist. And we already knew this was coming. That's why me and Fatty said, hey, here we go again. We knew this was coming. But I didn't expect it to be so fast. Or not that this was coming. We knew there was the possibility that it could happen. Regardless, it happened. Right now, we got strong personalities on the panel. Please let the person finish and then respond. You can't say the person interrupted you and why you talking over me while I'm talking if you already interrupted the person. Let her finish. You the first person that can respond to her, Jazz. You see Pearly nodding her head? Why she won't say, yo, Ali stopped it. Ali said, stop, Jazz. Let her talk. Because I was giving Pearly a benefit of doubt. I do not think she's going to come on the panel and just go blatant. They already make it blatantly about racist. I didn't think she was making it racist. Let's give her the benefit of doubt. She was just saying that black women should know better. But I said, Jazz, stop talking. Let Pearly finish. I didn't make no accusations or anything yet. For the first person, just let her land.
I did let her land.
No, you didn't let her land, Jazz.
Okay. It's fine.
And when y'all watch this back, is this Ali defending what's right? Is this Ali defending Jazz? Is this Ali defending Pearl? Or this Ali defending what's right by who's communicating? But it should be perceived if y'all said that we were caping or white knighting for Jazz, why you don't say I was white knighting for Pearly? Why don't Fatty say we were white knighting for Pearly? Where's our white knighting? Were we white knighting or not for Pearly? Or y'all want to see what you want to see? It's so ignorance from people that want to see what they want to see so they can say the things that they say. That's called hate.
Man, hate.
Yeah, it's you want to see what you want to see. But stop lying.
Bitch, we see you. Stop lying. We will not have it.
Start now.
Okay, well, you asked me why I brought it up, the black community, because you're black, so you would know. Because like I don't.
Oh my God!
It's like the same reason you brought up the white community, because I'm white. I have eyes, you know.
If you're done, first of all, that's
and again, that's strike two. The reason why I brought it up is because you're black. Versus the reason why I brought it up because based on data, based on observations from the experiences we see black women have as well too, we see that black women like criminals too. Instead of, oh, I brought it up because you're black. Well, if you're not black, how could you speak on a black woman? That wouldn't be considered appropriate for that conversation. Because if you're not black, it's just like saying if you're not a man, how can you speak for a man unless you're speaking from the observations or observing the observations of what men are saying or observing a man. Nothing that you said in response was observing black people or taking on the experiences of black women. It's because you're black, but you're not black. It's like, how do you know pigs do that? Oh, because you're a pig, but you're not a pig. So how would you know that pigs are doing that if you're not a pig? You would have to say, I observe what pigs do, and I've listened from pigs what they do. And not saying pigs can talk, but y'all get my point. The only way she can know that if she's going to make that point, if we're debating or having an actual intellectual conversation and making observations, is if she's had the experiences with that many black women. Even though earlier she said that she could have used that. Earlier she said it's countless interviews she's done, but she could have said, hey, I interviewed countless black women, and that's what they said. But she blatantly said, oh, because you're black. Y'all know that's ignorant.
Very disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful. Gaslighting.
It's not gaslighting.
They're being disrespectful. They're calling me disrespectful. And because I am grifting right now, let's do the Grift Olympics. Hybristophilia is a psychological term for the love of bad boys. Pearl's such a disappointment. I'll keep disappointing. I'll keep disappointing. All right.
This was a conversation about.
Yes, it is.
No,
Hey, friends, we don't need ad libs. Jess can handle it. Let her handle it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So like I said, we were
offended. Next.
Go ahead, Jess. Let Jess finish, please. Let's go ahead, Jess.
I will. Yeah, go ahead.
Are we going to allow this? Remember, Jazz is saying, are we going to allow this? Right now, we're trying to give Pearly the benefit of doubt because we knew this would happen. Y'all are white knighting. Y'all are simping. How far will she go? We already see what's happening, but maybe Jazz can have the conversation. Mary Tyranny can have the conversation. Maybe we cannot give them what they want by her purposely race baiting, by her asking for can you show us where this information comes from? Do white people do that? And if white people do that, can you share that experience too? Can you share that data? Oh, you don't have that data, ma'am. What is it actually you're trying to do today? Huh? If you can tell us all this about black people based on your feelings and your opinions, but you can't show us any information, why did you just make that statement? And can you show us, well, are white people doing this as well too? Based on your experience, can you show us that data as well? But you see, Jazz is already saying, are you going to allow this? And she has a point. But I wish she would have handled it in a different manner, but she was justified to handle it just like this. Just don't say later on we didn't do nothing to protect y'all, or we didn't let y'all have the conversation. Excuse me, because Tyranny says we didn't let y'all have the conversation or try to have the conversation with this woman. But you're justified in saying what you're saying in this part. Jazz, y'all can say whatever you want. Jazz is justified in asking that. The only way she's not justified in asking that is when she can disrespect men, and she's not doing anything to catch herself if she disrespects a man when she's disrespected a man. But since she's been on our panel, Jazz has been on her best behaviors, except for the obvious of what she did with Fatty, which I won't go too much in because they already squashed that. Outside of that, Jazz been on her best behaviors. When she did that, she violated big time. But outside of that, she's been on her best behaviors. But in this right here, she wasn't wrong. And again, look at Pearly laughing. This ain't to have a conversation. This is to bait people. This is to get a reaction. This is to make people have this type of response and aggravate people. This isn't to have the conversation.
So like I said, we were speaking.
And she still hasn't said nothing about black fatigue. Where's the black fatigue part?
About relationships in general. Nobody said anything about black or white until
and that's absolutely right. And Jazz is right.
For what reason, I don't know.
Yep.
It didn't add anything to the conversation. First of all, I was speaking on.
She's still laughing. She's saying you're black. We were talking about relationships. We weren't talking about race. There was no reason for her to bring up race. And I think I'm writing right now to her. Please don't make it blatantly about race. She's still laughing. That's disrespectful, man. If I'm talking like this in front of white people and I'm having the actual conversation, it's going to be a serious conversation. It's going to be informed. It's going to be intellectual. It's something that I can process with them as well, too, to not make them feel like I'm blatantly trying to make it racist. Let's have this conversation about black and white people. She's laughing and said, oh, you're black. But Jazz is right. This was a conversation about relationships. It wasn't a conversation about race. And it's why Pearl generalized it in the beginning as well, too. But once she got pushed back from Jazz, or once she felt like Jazz was being disingenuous about supposedly not knowing that black people or women like criminals. And you know what? It wasn't about black women liking criminals. It was about women liking criminals. That's when she used that, because she said women like criminals. So why would you say black, especially black women, they like criminals? Because she wanted to race bait. She wanted a reaction. And she when she felt like she was being disingenuous, she felt like she was justified to say that, to get a reaction from Jazz. But Jazz is right here. I don't care what y'all say. But I do care what y'all say if you're being honest and truthful. But if I don't care what y'all saying, if you're blatantly being deceptive and you're blatantly trying to see what you want to see, just so you can see what you want to see. Just so you can go on a campaign. Man, they're white knighting. Man, they're simping. Oh, man. Ali and Fatty, out of all the times where they're seeing where women are using toxic rhetoric towards men, we're going to go out our way to protect Jazz and Tyranny when they're being disrespectful still. If someone comes on our panel and they're just having a conversation and they're not demonstrating no ill will and not being disrespectful towards nobody, then they don't deserve it. And it's not going to happen. Again, don't matter who it is. We're not allowing it.
Nature of women and how we are all naturally attracted to.
I don't mean to keep clipping it, but I will or stopping, but I will for $2. Shaniqua's have Pookiophilia, please. All right.
Oh man! Hey!
Excuse me, no, that is not the case at all for Black women. Now, if you're talking about people that are in poverty, people that live in certain situations, and
60% of Black men have been arrested by the.
Can you stop cutting her off? One second. Hey, friend, one second. I got you.
He's cutting me off, Ali.
I got you, Jazz. You don't have to ask. I got you.
Sorry.
You all right?
My bad.
Just make some notes, bro. Let her finish.
And Jazz is right about that. Jazz, I'm sorry, but I was trying to fix my mic still. Jazz was right about that, but I didn't catch it because I couldn't hear it. So she was cutting you off, and she's laughing and dying and think it's entertaining to try to trigger somebody. Jazz is not blatantly trying to trigger her and disrespect her. Everybody sees this, and it's messed up that Athena and Melanin, my girl, and Athena, my girl too, but y'all know it's messed up and we laughing about it. It's messed up what she's doing. No matter how much we're at a different position from Jazz, even the majority of the time, all of us are disagreeing with Jazz. We don't agree with majority of what she says, and there's times she can come off in a certain manner. And let's say if you want to go straight up to maybe she can be disrespectful or uninformed or disingenuous, a lot of time, and she's done some stuff on our panels before, but of lately, like I said, she hasn't. On this panel we're just talking about here, we got to do what's right. It's about the integrity of the show, and it's about the integrity of the individuals that are having the conversations. This isn't right. And yeah, I apologize, Jazz. I missed this part. And she was cutting you off. I apologize about that, but I couldn't hear. I'm trying to fix my mic. I thought my camera was messed up too. It's not no justification though. But you know I would have intervened. I don't like on any of these shows. I stop this stuff all the time. I don't like when anybody's disrespecting anybody, even if the person is disrespectful.
That's my fault.
It's fine. Go ahead, Jazz.
And she admits it's her fault. Pearly admits it's her fault.
It's just weird that you would even have to bring up a race of people to even have the conversation, which lets me know that you don't really have information on the conversation. You're just spewing points to try to get a rise out of people because that's all you know. As it pertains to why women choose the women they want or the kind of men that they date, there are so many different reasons for that. You can't equate a person that has a felony to them being a violent criminal. That's not always.
And she's right.
You know, he's got black.
That's what I'm saying. Like it just because you commit a crime doesn't mean you're a criminal. Just because you commit a certain type of crime doesn't mean women are attracted to those type of men. You got to pick the particular crime that a woman may be attracted to. But again, it's not the crime she's attracted to. It's the dominant trait she's attracted to. It's the behaviors those men present that she's attracted to. That's similar to, again, to athletes, to reputable men, to strong men, to entrepreneurs, to leaders, to protectors. Those are the attributes they're attracted to. It's not the fact that they're doing something illegal. Most of the time.
Black people, the urban landlord. I have a clip of a black tenant getting mad that I called him black. Very sensitive. Love for you to play it. We can react when I bring the panel up. When I bring the panel up, we can react.
Because I agree, there are some people that marry men and women that have felonies in their background. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are violent. And then to say that Black women are the most prone to violent criminals within our community, you don't know shit about our community, Pearl. And if we're going to talk about what's happening, if we're going to make it about a race thing, let's figure out what's going on in these white communities, in these white homes, when you all are raising all the mass shooters, y'all raising kids that are taking guns to shoot at other kids. Y'all going into public spaces, and I'm sure you're going to talk about Black on Black crime or whatever, but we can debunk all of that because that's through proximity. The point is that you didn't have to make it about Black or white. Keep it general because it's very disrespectful for you to try to pigeonhole Black women when you don't know any of us at all, to make that assumption that that's what we are prone to. None of these women on this stage, myself, Tyranny, or even Athena, are dating any man that is of a criminal or that are violent. So watch what you say up here. You got a really smart mouth.
And she and she was right about that. Like, there's no denying what she just said. She made it about race, and she also brought Athena in there and all the women in there as well too, by identifying they probably not dating criminals, even though they may have dated criminals. You know, you don't know if they did any criminals. And I'm just being funny, but she's absolutely right. Most people aren't dating criminals, and most people aren't criminals. And they're attracted to that trait. And she made it about race, and she's still smiling. There's no remorse. There's no regret. There's no intent. There's no, let's get back on the relationship topic. Oh, my bad. We weren't even talking about a Black topic, but we weren't even talking about Black fatigue, but I made it about criminals. I made it about Black women loving criminals. And what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to stop it right here. I'm gonna have a part 2, part 3, because I'm gonna keep going. Pearl, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna get to all your videos best that I can. You want to be famous, or you want a response to these, we're gonna give you a response to it. Fatty's gonna give you an even better response, probably the next show he does, speaking about this as well too. If you want to have a conversation about this, it ain't about making you famous because you're already famous, but we're gonna embarrass you because you're already embarrassing yourself. That's all we're gonna highlight. We're gonna just keep embarrassing you. I don't care if you stop anymore, because you this is what you asked for. I'm going to show to the people and to actual people who think and got brains and who ain't clout chasing, who don't care about how much money you have, how much followers you have, who you are as a person. They care about what kind of person you are and how you treat people and how you conduct yourself. Those are the people I care about, what they think, and the majority of people that support us. So please like and subscribe. Hype up this video, man. Check this video out. Tell me what y'all think. Again, Jazz kept from being cut off. Actually, we missed the part to keep Jazz from being cut off. Jazz got cut off and we missed it. When Pearl got cut off, we were supporting Pearl and making sure she didn't cut off, even if what she was doing was surrounding around race. Pearl made this conversation about race when this was about relationships. Pearl lied and said that T.I. was on the cover when it was 50 Cent. Pearl said that this had nothing to do with her trying to race bait, but this had nothing to do with Black fatigue. She didn't speak on nothing that had to do with Black fatigue. Pearl is putting us on thumbnails, and we're no longer even on the show anymore. She's not on our show. She went on our Sunday show, and she's putting people on the thumbnails from the Sunday, but she's not race baiting. She's not trying to integrate us into the conversation. She's not trying to talk about us. She's not on a smear campaign. She don't have an agenda. She's talking about the truth. She's putting it where it counts. She's putting the hammer down. And again, pay attention to what all of us are doing, man. If y'all come and watch our channels, if you come and watch our product, if you come and watch the conversations, we allow everybody to talk, no matter who it is. We don't let people be disrespected the best that we can. We don't let people be cut off the best we can. We try to control the flow of the conversation as intentional as possible to make sure everybody can talk, and it's run the best way we make sure it runs, so that it's everybody gets to see and observe exactly what perspectives people have without us being biased at all. Nobody has bias on this channel except for me and Fatty. But even then, we let people talk over us. Watch how many times we let people get the mic away from us. Most people don't let them do that on the chat. When I pulled up on Pearl, she kicked me off her show. Passive aggressively. But pay attention to your favorite content creators. I don't care if you criticize us. I don't care if you hold us to task. I don't care if you hold us accountable, man. But just make sure you're telling the truth when you do it. That's all. Much love from y'all. Y'all make sure y'all like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment your thoughts, and you give me your perspective. Again, she asked for Rick to be kicked off. We didn't try to kick him off so she can have the conversation with Jazz and she can have the conversation with Tyranny. She's been putting people on her thumbnails so she can get them over there because she doesn't want to come back and have the actual conversation because she was offended by one conversation when this was supposed to be something we do every week. But she attempted to control our panelists and she attempted to control the host. We didn't try to control her. All we asked her to do was wait till next week and don't make it blatantly about race. And she continued to make it about race. But there's going to be some more coming. So I'll see you on the next one. I might do some reviews before I review her again, but we're just going to give her what she wants. She want to be embarrassed. We'll help her be embarrassed. We'll help her get the point. And just remember, she called her employees Africans. She put a little girl or a young girl on her show where her mother asked her to take the video down or to take the young girl off the show, and she got demonetized for it. She broke her relationships with Black people, and now she's saying they're disrespectful for addressing exactly what she did to them. She's the one that said Martin Luther King was race hustling. Sounds similar to Charlie Kirk disrespecting Martin Luther King, don't it? A lot of people will use Martin Luther King in one breath to say Black people should act just like this man, and they'll come a whole nother direction to defame Martin Luther King and to make Martin Luther King bad, to make it seem like he was being divisive at a time where white people were blatantly being not only racist, but we're killing Black people. We're hanging Black people. We're lynching Black people. Where laws had to be made for attempting to have equal rights, for Black people to have opportunities, for Black people to keep Black people from being disenfranchised. Martin Luther King was killed during that time. Malcolm X was killed during that time. The Black Panthers were wiped off the earth at that time. Most of them. Peter Hampton was killed. He was only 21 years old. And he was trying to bring white people together, racist white people together, Hispanics, Black people, all types of people together. The FBI or the CIA came together using COINTELPRO at that time as well too, to behead a lot of the Black leaders to keep from people coming together, because the Black men were talking about equality at that time and bringing people together. And I'm not going to take away from the white people who did it too. There were white people who were being killed for standing up for Black people as well too. That's why I would talk intentionally and honestly about this too. So in order to have this conversation, we need to bring Black and white people together, but more than Black and white people, we need to bring humans together. I'm not going to sit here and have a smear campaign ever about white people. Even if the term Black fatigue exists, it's about the way Black people feel in the country about how they're mistreated. And then there's certain white people who hijack it and they say they tired of white people complaining about the last 5 or 10 years when there's been actual disenfranchisement, actual oppression, suppression, redlining, gentrification, killings, lynching, lack of opportunities, actual racism for the last 400 years, slavery, Jim Crow, war on drugs, racial profiling. Come on, man. I mean, how far do we have to go with this stuff? And I know I'm missing a lot of things. There's so much we can talk about. But let's have the actual conversation if you want to have the conversation. Again, like, share. Hopefully y'all leave some comments, man. We'll see you on the next one, man. Much love to y'all. think the next show I might go live again tomorrow. I don't know, but I might, but I'm not sure, man. Much love to y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one.